The definition of gas exchange is the delivery of oxygen from the lungs to the bloodstream and the elimination of carbon dioxide from the bloodstream back into the lungs. Oxygen is obtained from inspired air, air we breathe in, where carbon dioxide is removed through expired air, or the air we force out. Air enters through our body, through our nose and mouth, and travels down the pharynx, larynx, and trachea. Here's our trachea. The trachea branches into our lungs, into bronchus and bronchioles. At the end of the bronchioles, we have tiny air sacs called alveoli. These alveoli inflate every time we inhale and deflate every time we exhale. There are two types of gas exchange, systemic and pulmonary or alveolar gas exchange. Both are very similar, but each take place in slightly different areas. Our alveolar gas exchange happens in the lungs between the alveoli, which are these tiny sacs, and tiny blood vessels called capillaries. These capillaries are found in the walls of the alveoli. The walls of the alveoli share a membrane with the capillaries, which allow oxygen and carbon dioxide to move freely between the respiratory system and the bloodstream. So here on our diagram, you can see we have the pulmonary circuit and our systemic circuit. We have our systemic veins full of deoxygenated blood. Here in our pulmonary circuit, we have pulmonary arteries that are full of oxygenated blood. So I am going to take our blood, which is this pink eraser, and at the moment it is full of carbon dioxide, which are our blue pins, and oxygen, which are our orange pins. So we have our blood here in the systemic circuit, actually in the systemic veins, and it travels to the heart, then up into the pulmonary circuit and into the pulmonary capillaries. Now remember that the pulmonary capillaries are found in the walls of the alveoli. As you inspire or breathe in, we are increasing the number of oxygen molecules in our lungs and in our bloodstream. So when that happens, carbon dioxide molecules then have to move back into the alveoli, where they will be expelled from the lungs out of the body through expiration. They are moving from low concentration to high concentration. So as we switch, we expel and our carbon dioxide moves into the alveoli. When we inhale or inspire, we increase our oxygen molecules, which are our orange pins. So our oxygen is going to move from high concentration to low concentration, so going from our alveoli and attaching themselves to the red blood cells within our blood. So here, as we inspire, we are adding more oxygen to the blood, while the carbon dioxide molecules, remember, they kind of jumped ship and they went back to the alveoli waiting for expired breath. So the systematic gas exchange happens between the blood vessels and tissues. So our blood, which is oxygenated rich blood, travels down our pulmonary arteries and into the systematic circuit, where our oxygen levels are low within the tissues and high within the red blood cells. So this is where our gas exchange occurs. Our oxygen diffuses from the red blood cells through the capillaries and into the tissue cells, while the carbon dioxide cells then diffuse from the tissue fluid back into the bloodstream as deoxygenated blood and travels again up through the heart and into the lungs, where it'll be expelled out of the body, starting the process of the alveolar and systematic gas exchange all over again.